Today we're going to be making Halal Yakisoba with ingredients from MidamarHalal.com. We'll start making the meatballs by processing some saltine crackers until they're finely ground. Next, we'll pour the ground crackers into a mixing bowl with 4 diced green onions, half a tablespoon of minced ginger, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil, and we finish with salt and pepper, about a quarter teaspoon to half a teaspoon each. Then we whisk it all up with a fork before adding the ground beef. We do that to make sure that all the ingredients are well combined before it gets mixed into the beef. This should prevent large clumps of unmixed seasoning appearing in our meatballs. Once that's all mixed up, I placed some aluminum foil on a baking sheet and sprayed it with nonstick spray. Then I took about 1 to 2 ounces of the beef mixture and rolled them into hearty-sized meatballs. If I made this again, I think I'd make the meatballs slightly smaller and more bite-sized so I could get everything in one bite, but these were pretty good as it was. Once those are all rolled, we bake them at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Next, we'll prepare the titular soba. We'll only need to cook these for 30 seconds to a minute at most, because if we cook it more than that, they're likely to get mushy and soft and not very good to eat. Once those are done cooking, we'll pull them out and put them straight in a mixing bowl and coat with 1 to 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil. Make sure to toss the noodles as well to ensure they all get coated in the oil. Once all that's prepared, we'll move over to the yakisoba sauce. First, we'll combine the rice vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, oyster sauce, soy sauce, cornstarch. We wanted ours to be a little bit sweeter, so we used 1/3 cup of honey, but if you want yours more savory, use less. And at the end, we add the toasted sesame oil. And then we want to give this a really good whisking. The goal here is to prevent the honey from sticking to the bottom and have a nice smooth sauce. For the final part of the prep, we'll cut up our vegetables. We'll start by chopping our carrots into thin matchsticks. Alternatively, you could purchase these as pre-cut, but we wanted to go with the fresh vegetable. Next, we'll chop 1 yellow onion into large chunks. Then we'll cut 1 red bell pepper into thin slices. If you'd like your peppers to be a little more crunchy, you can cut them a little bit thicker. We'll put these in a mixing bowl and set them aside for now. Next, we'll cut up our cabbage. Cabbage is a key ingredient for yakisoba, so I really wanted to include nice thin strips. We'll put this in its own mixing bowl because it'll cook at a different time. Next, we'll add some peanut oil to a pan, add our vegetables, and give that a quick stir fry for a few minutes, just until they get a little bit softened. Then we'll come in with the white parts of 2 green onions, some snap peas, our cabbage, some garlic cloves, and some ginger. We want to cook this until the cabbage gets slightly softened, but not totally translucent. Next, we'll add our sauce. Once you give that a good mix, bring it to a simmer and let it sit for a couple minutes, just enough to let the vegetables soften a slightly bit more. Then, we'll add our yakisoba noodles and mix until they're evenly coated. If you'd like, you can try and put the noodles towards the bottom and let them fry a little bit to give them a nice crisp bottom, but we just went for a classic stir. And to finish this dish, we'll add the green parts of the green onions as well as our meatballs and let that cook until the meatballs are warmed through. And that's it for this recipe. This was one of my all-time favorites, and I hope you like it as much as I did. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss next week's delicious halal recipe. That's it from all of us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.